Hello, Avon community. This is Dr. Ryan Piketty, and I'm back for another installment of the Avon Update. Nate, this is an opportunity for me to get some updates and some information to the community that's not just via email. Now, you're receiving it via email, but hopefully the video link is something different. So I want to share my screen. I'm going to run through these updates as quickly as I can because I don't want to take up too much of your time, but I want to get some information to you. Every time I do an update, Nate, I talk about the mindset that we've been operating under, the BPFP mindset for this year, to be positive, flexible, and proactive whenever we can be. But at this time of year, I just want to also add thankful. I just am really appreciative of all of the hard work and support that has been taking place at the Avon School District. People have been fantastic, and all of the successes that we've experienced so far are a result of a lot of care and a lot of hard work. I'm really blessed to work with so many great colleagues and in a community that cares so much about its school. The rest of the overview of the presentation, I'm going to pass along a little bit more appreciation, and I'm going to provide some updates around COVID-19 testing and vaccination, as well as a very brief strategic planning update on behalf of the district. First update that I have is for our annual Scrooge event. Typically, this is done on the stage, and it is a fundraiser for the Avon Theater Club. This year, we've moved it to a digital format where we've done a film, and we're going to air that on Tuesday the 22nd at the Avon Vintage Drive-In. Please arrive by 6:15 just to help us with the logistics. It is every year Scrooge is a fundraiser for the Theater and Drama Club, so admission is free. However, we are asking guests to consider a suggested donation of $10 a car. The running time is 65 minutes. The restrooms at the Vintage Drive-In will be closed. There will be a porta potty in December. However, we hope to have you in and out of the showing in about 2 hours, so you may just want to plan accordingly. This is the time of year to let people know that you care and to make sure that you demonstrate appreciation for everything that they do. For me, I really want to emphasize again how thankful I am for our students, our staff, every support staff member, every faculty, every teacher, our Board of Education, the leaders that I work with. I've been working with the admin team for still less than a year, and I'm really appreciative and proud to work with a group that cares so much about the community and about the students and about getting things right on their behalf. And lastly, I want to take a moment and just thank my family, my wife, Jennifer, my children, Aiden and Grace. They give me the space I need to be as committed to Avon as I need to be in these challenging times. So I just really am thankful for the support that they provide me. I want to talk a little bit about COVID. We've started sending this graph in the weekly emails. What you can see here, just to briefly explain it, the blue graph is Livingston County cases. The orange graph at the bottom is cases within the Avon community. And then the table that you receive, you also have it in your email, is the number of cases at the school, staff members and students who have tested positive at the Avon School District. I think the most important part of the graph is that blue graph, in about 1.5 inches from the right-hand side, it really spikes upward. That reflects the change at Thanksgiving. Up until that point, that's late November, early December right there. And you can really see the cases in Livingston County take off at that point. The good news is when you look at the yellow graph within Avon, there is a rise at about that time of year, however, not to the extent that the cases are rising in Livingston County, and that's good news for the Avon community. We've also started capturing information for a few different categories of those connected with potential COVID cases, whether it's screening, whether it's quarantine, screening meaning the attestations or demonstrating symptoms at school or at home and then being contacted, the quarantine, the testing, the positive cases, and then the quarantining we've broken down into quarantines that happen as a result of school-based exposure and quarantines that happen as a result of community-based exposure. So that information is being sent to you. It's in this email that you're receiving today. If you have any questions about it, please give me a call. I'm not going to try to go in too much detail about this graph today. This table today. Testing. The Livingston County Department of Health have been an amazing partner when it comes to access to rapid testing. So if we make a call from school and a teacher or staff member or student is potentially connected to a COVID case, by working through the health offices here at the school or working through the admin team, we have the ability to contact the Department of Health and try to get a rapid test, usually the next day. The testing usually happens between 9 and 10, and the results are usually known by 12 noon. This is an incredible resource for us. Because the county health department is super busy, they do ask that any of the cases that we're dealing with at school would have the priority. So we will happily work with families to try to schedule something, but it is not an open clinic to the community. So they do not want drive up unannounced folks showing up for the testing. But we're happy to try to work with you. Please contact the health offices at the different schools, and we'll be happy to try to work with you if you think that there's a connection to a COVID case. So that's the daily rapid testing that Livingston County has made available to help support schools. They will be closed from Christmas Eve on the 24th to New Year's Day on the 1st. So any testing that's needed at that time would have to be done through the other community testing sites and or through primary care providers. I want to talk a little bit about the zone-based testing that we may need to do if we are designated a zone. Currently, I want to be really clear about this. Currently, right now, Livingston County, no areas of Livingston County are designated as a zone, either yellow, orange, or red. Currently, we are not in a zone. However, our case counts are rising, and as the case counts rise and the 7-day rolling averages rise, hospital bed availability is also beginning to creep towards capacity within the region. The region is approaching the hospital capacity. As of Thursday, the capacity at Noyes was still in good shape, according to the health department. And those are the factors that'll come into play if we're going to be designated within a zone. There are 3 different zones, a yellow, orange, and red. Each has different testing requirements for students and staff. In a yellow zone, it's 20% over 2 weeks. In an orange zone, it's 20% over 4 weeks. In a red zone, it's 30% over 4 weeks. Because the case counts are starting to rise, we as a school are starting to ramp up our preparation for possibly doing some testing associated with being a zone. We're not there yet, but we're starting our preparation. In the next couple of days, we're going to send out a consent form that talks about the testing and explains what the process would be. We're going to send that out via a Google form. And what we want you to know is that we're likely to do our testing if we get there in a clinic format, meaning we would do some testing on a Sunday afternoon and evening and Wednesday afternoon and evening. And the reason for those afternoon and evening on those dates is because we're trying to minimize the close contacts that may happen at school if in case a student or staff member is found to be positive. Again, I want to emphasize one more time, we are not currently in a zone, and we will definitely send more information if or when that information is needed. I want to talk briefly about vaccinations. This was a topic of conversation between the Livingston County superintendents and the health department on Thursday, and they're starting to share some information with us in regards to vaccination programs. The health department had to submit 2 separate plans. First was an original vaccination plan, and then they had to update that plan in order with the New York State Department of Health. What the important information is that staff members and employees of the school would be phase 2. That is slated for a possible January or March start date. Students are designated as a phase 5, and what the health department shared is that's possibly going to happen in summertime and or in the early fall. Livingston County Health Department plans to host a daily vaccination clinic for the various phases of the vaccination program. Right now, it's unclear if the rest of the vaccination program is going to happen at the regional level, meaning the Finger Lakes, based on Governor Cuomo's designations throughout the state, or at the local health departments of all of the counties within the Finger Lakes area. That information is unclear at this point. Livingston County Health Department has not received an answer on their inquiries that they've sent in regarding the vaccination programs. There's a lot more information to be figured out, a lot more details to be planned, and we will certainly pass along that information when we need to. The last thing I want to do is provide a very brief update about the strategic planning process. This was communicated a couple of months back. We've been engaging in the surveys with students. The quick note today is that the document review, all of the surveys, the focus groups, and the interviews have been completed. And the next step is the consultant is taking all that information and is going to produce a report back to myself and to the Board of Education just after the December break. I want to take one more moment and just say thank you to the Avon community. You've been an amazing amazing group of people to work with. We appreciate the support that the school receives every day, and we hope that in turn the school is also demonstrating some support back to each and every one of you. So I want to thank you, and I want to wish you a happy holiday season. And if you have any questions, please give me a call or get a hold of me at the email address that was shared in the presentation. Thank you very much, everyone. Have a great day.